What happens when a young boy from Tonga leaves home without nothing but raw talent and the dream to make it on the world stage? What happens when that dream explodes into reality, wearing the jersey, scoring the tries, hearing the roar of the crowd, only for it all to come crashing down? Alfie Mafi knows. He's lived the headlines and the heartbreak behind them. But this is not a story about defeat. It's about men who refused to stay down, who swapped the rugby field for the boxing ring. And now is preparing for his very first tournament, fighting not just opponents, but every doubt, every shadow, every past mistake. Today, on Life the Battlefield, you'll hear the truth about chasing redemption, about rebuilding your identity, and what it takes to rise when the wall has already written you off. Well, Riz Tekes and Jules Tekes, let's go welcome my guest today in the studio, Alfie Mafi. Alfie, welcome to the Life the Battlefield studio.
I appreciate it, brother. The pleasure is all mine, and I look forward to this interview.
Look, I don't know where to start with you because from the onset of this podcast, not many men can surprise me or impress me with their life because I've seen a lot, I've done a lot, but you are one of the few really who are really looking forward not just to interview, but to learn, because the guy's going to learn across the globe. So I want to say thank you, 300,000 followers, beautiful souls who are following this podcast. Thank you very much for being in my corner. And today, guest Alfie Mafi. As you heard in the interview, in introduction with Alfie, it's truly a remarkable man. So let's go dive into this. Let's go.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, when you look back,
yes,
at the boy who left Tonga to chase his dream, what would you tell him today?
I'll tell him, brother, look, trust your process. You're going to muck up in life. And there's something that I've learned on the way, that you just got to ride the waves and don't stress out over the little things and what people think, but you're going to be all right. You're going to go through hiccups. People are going to burn you. You're going to do good things, bad things, but you're going to be all right. Because the man I'm turning out to be, I'm not quite there yet, but I will be there. But it's the process that I'm chasing, and you'll get there.
You know, people don't know entire story, and that's I'm hoping we have enough time today just to dig a little bit. Why did you left Tonga in the first place? What was the reason why you left your island?
So I have 10 siblings. My parents have 10 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
We grew up with our grandparents, and it was time for my parents to come to Australia because there's no life in Tonga. So when that time came, there was already 6 of us. And my grandfather said to my mum, look, it's time for you to go to Australia and find a life there because there's no way you can live in Tonga with 10 kids and have a life. So the tough decision came because my parents, obviously we don't have much money. Only 2 tickets they had, mum and dad. So when it came down to it, they had to move to Australia and leave us with our grandparents. I was 2 at the time. Apparently I was my mom's sidekick. Everywhere she went, I was with my mom.
Okay.
So this is something...
you were the youngest though?
At that time, yes, I was the youngest. No, I wasn't. Sorry, my sister was the youngest.
Okay.
They took my sister actually.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I never realized how hard this decision that my parents made till I had my own kids. And now I look at my kids at that age at 2 and go, man, imagine leaving my kid now and not seeing them till I was 9. So that's what ended up happening. My parents moved and I grew up in Tonga with my other siblings and my uncles and my grandparents. And then 1997, it was when my parents had enough money to fly all of us over to Australia. And that was the first time I got to meet them. And, because I was only 2 when they left.
Yeah.
But really just, it came down to money. We didn't have enough money and we had to come to Australia to find a better life. And when we got to Australia, I got to meet 4 other siblings that my parents had at the time. It was different. The first thing we went to was McDonald's. From Tonga, there is no McDonald's. There's no escalators. There's no elevators. At the airport, when we went up the escalators, it was the best thing I've ever experienced in my life at that time. And then on the way home, they're like, "You want to stop at McDonald's?" We're like, "What's McDonald's?"
What's McDonald's? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Big Mac. I was like, "My goodness, this is the best day of my life, a Big Mac."
Man.
But yeah, that's a little bit of what happened when we were younger. But ultimately, we had to come here to find a better life.
You know, I can relate something to the Big Mac, not that one Big Mac, but I remember 1988, I was first time I saw in Communist Yugoslavia McDonald's, and a friend of mine says, like, let's go get McDonald's. I'm like, what's McDonald's? He said, Karate Kid, these things,
Yeah.
So, so yes, we had the one McDonald's in the entire country, right? And the line was so long. Anyway, eventually got that cheeseburger. That smell, you know what I mean? Like, I can imagine, like, I was like, I can taste the freedom. I can smell the America, you know what I mean? Like, everything.
And burgers were bigger back then, I remember. I remember the burgers were bigger. Now they're a bit smaller.
Yeah, they become for the midgets.
Yeah,
Seriously.
the Big Mac's not very big anymore. It's
Not it become more caloric food, but not size and taste anymore. So when you move in Australia, what was your first feeling? What you gonna do with your life? Obviously, you say like, I'm gonna rob the banks. Or that's
I never grew up having a dream to be a professional rugby player or be anything in general. I just grew up and I was just happy to be in Australia. I made some friends at church. I went to Granville Boys. So that school alone, if anybody knows Granville Boys, that's a rough school, but the best school. So growing up, I never really had any inspiration. I want to do this or do that. Yeah. But then I met a couple of the boys at church and they were playing rugby. And this is how I got introduced to rugby. Okay, so
you didn't know nothing about rugby while in Tonga, right?
Well, I knew about rugby, but it was never a dream of mine to play professional rugby.
Yeah.
And then I met the guys at church and they were playing on a Sunday. Obviously, that's against your religion. Don't play on a Sunday. But they allowed me, my parents allowed me to go play. And it was during that time from 13 to about 16, it was like, oh, can I be a professional? Actually, nah, I'm not that good. I suck.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was 16 that I started to realize, oh, hey, maybe I'm good at this because I'm making the New South Wales team and then I made the Australian school team. And that was the first time that being a professional rugby player crossed my mind.
Did you have any doubts that you're going to be successful in rugby? Did you ever have a doubts that you're going to be success? Or do you want to be success?
Yeah, doubt. Everybody has doubt. Okay. I doubted myself maybe the first 6 years. I always said to myself, I'm not good enough. Because I was comparing myself to other players. And in terms of rugby, I never really made it. I was around the fringes of making the Wallabies, but I never made it. I played Australian sevens. But I don't know who we can look at to say that's a successful rugby player, but it's not. Look, I don't know nothing about
rugby because my first sport in Australia, 98, I went with my ambassador. Then was the Prime Minister of Australia, John Howard. So he called all ambassadors, on MCG, or SCG, whatever, some MCG. I think Melbourne, and I was there with my ambassador. I couldn't understand what's wrong with these people all day sitting on the sun drinking beer, and the pigeons are around, and the one guy throw the ball, and everybody tried to catch that one ball. I couldn't understand that sport, even today, right?
Yeah,
you must be born here. But when I saw, I think rugby or NRL or whatever they are, I said, "Geez, these guys it's crazy, right?" But I never understood who is actually successful rugby player. What makes successful sportsman in your books, by your understanding? What would you describe somebody as a successful sportsman?
That's a good question. To me, as somebody who represents their club, successful at their club, win a championship in their club, and a big part of it for me, if you're financially, finances for me is another indicator that you're successful in your sport, because you can play and win premierships, but if you never really made any money, you're not really successful, are you? Like you could play and win championship and make it to this and that, but if at the end of it you got nothing to show for it, are you successful? In my eyes, no. So to me, it's a combination, but I would put finance on top of it. I think finance is a big indicator on how successful you are.
Yes, it is.
Because that means you're doing something that people are drawn to and they're willing to pay you top dollar to be in that sport.
Can I ask you, what's the top dollar can rugby player make in Australia now?
Right now, I think there's a kid, he's making 1.6
1.6
a year. His name is, I couldn't tell you his name, Sueliti, I think his name is.
Yeah, okay.
He was an NRL kid, only young, he's 20-something. And he came over to Union because they offered him 1.6 million a year. It's like as a kid that.
But our average, what will be average earnings per year for the rugby player now?
Oh, it can just. What's the minimum wage? It starts.
I don't know, like that one. I lied to like.
It starts with. I think it's when I started on $25,000 a year.
My God.
I know, a year, and that was a professional.
They were ripping you off, eh?
At the time, I wasn't really a name, but when you think about it now, $25,000 is not a lot of money. But that was only a professional contract. To go from that to a rookie contract, it was 70 or 75,000.
Okay.
And you're a professional. But the funny thing is, most people look at you, like my family members, mainly my cousins and friends, they would look at you and like, bro, you must be rich. It's like, nah, brother, I ain't rich.
I need to still pay for my sports equipment.
But because it's not people's fault. They see you on TV and they automatically assume you make money. But a lot of the people in professional teams don't make that money. Only a few maybe top 5% make the top dollar. And the rest of the other guys are on minimum wage. Some guys, when I was starting at the Waratahs, had 2 jobs. They were playing professional rugby and they were doing a trade and doing like little jobs on the side just to make ends meet. And a lot of players go through this. Yeah. Most people just think because you see on the NRL, this guy's making 300,000, this guy's making 500,000, this guy's on 1,900,000.
So what is our perception of this one? I will say as well, soccer, I grew up with the soccer. My father wants me to be a soccer player. I said to him, my dad, did you see my body size? I was not a skinny guy. Yeah, I don't care, you're not going to make your money. I'm like, because, I grew up in poverty, like sort of like you, but our perception, it is what you say.
Yeah.
Play on a field, he must have the money, girls, fame, contracts coming and everything else.
Yeah.
It's the wrong perception.
It's definitely the wrong perception. And a lot of these players don't make it past 4 or 5 years.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. So you have a period where you can be a professional, and then after that, if you're not playing well or you're not in the team and you're just kind of filling in the numbers, most of the time you do 3, 4 years, 5 years max, and then you're out. And then they bring a new player through. So
everything has a cycle. That's what everybody forgets, that they think they're irreplaceable. You know what I mean?
And I think it's also important that people out there, if you've got a family member who plays professional rugby, don't always assume they're making money and don't ask them for money, because a lot of the time they're struggling as well. If anything, they need money from you guys. I used to catch the train to Waratahs.
Why? This is something we don't see it behind the scene. You know what I mean? I think that everything in life requires sacrifice to be successful.
Yeah.
And truth it is, very few people are on the top of the pyramid, right? But today I'm talking to you, Alfie. You live that life. Rugby brought you fame, no question asked. But also hard lessons. And I want you to share with our audience right now the most honestly as you can do for this podcast, Life the Battlefield. Which moments still brings you the lump in your throat? If you can say, you don't need to name the people.
No, I'll definitely say
I want people to understand that the men sit opposite me today, you have the fame in rugby. Yeah. But there must be the moments where the lump in your throat is still today jumps.
For me, it would be when I decided to go from the Waratahs to Canberra. Because when I was at the Waratahs, I was only a young kid. I was 18, 19 years old. And when the opportunity came to go to Canberra, that was one of my first mistakes in my life, that I look back and go, man, if I had just stayed at the Waratahs, things could have been differently. Meaning, because I was living at a home at the time, so I was under my parents, I wasn't going out, doing any of that stuff. And for me, going to Canberra represented like, I get to be free. I get to get out of this house and experience the world. That right there was one of the first and biggest mistake I made. Because then when I went to Canberra, obviously I got introduced to stuff that I never should have gone down. But I got introduced to it and I had to go through it. But to this day, Two things.
Yes, please.
I never should have gone to Canberra because I would have stayed at home under my mum. I never would have gone out and done all the things I ended up doing. And I should have went to rugby league. Rugby league was my game. So those two things still sit with me. But if you want like an answer where in terms of injuries and stuff, man, I've had some big injuries and I've been through some dark roads of thinking like, why am I doing this?
Can you, like, I'm going to share this with you because I'm seeing, I said at the beginning, I will say this again. Your life impressed me
Yeah.
because you're speaking the truth. You see, most of people love being on podcast and start the story. My mom didn't love me. My dad was alcoholic. We didn't have the money. Blah, blah, blah. Like as if everybody was having the golden spoon in, a crazy, beautiful life from the day number one.
Yeah.
But you still smiling. And I said, we're going to come to a point when most of people going to say, I can learn from this man. First of all, I'm grateful you're on my podcast. Secondly, I'm extremely thankful that you speaking your life experience so we can learn.
Yeah.
You paid in a blood, tears, and pain.
Yeah.
You say something. You shouldn't go in a Canberra and you should go in the rugby league, right?
Yeah.
What was that moment I saw it on your face when you said, I shouldn't go in Canberra? Why is that? What's happened? Tell us.
I got introduced to alcohol. I got introduced to drugs and women. The three combination that ruins anybody in sports, media, anything. Those three right there. And I knew, and I wanted it. That's the problem. I wanted that lifestyle because I was always at home.
Please.
So growing up, we're Mormons, okay?
Yeah.
And I was always, not that the middle child means anything, but they say the middle child is the black sheep of the family. I don't think it is, but I was the black sheep.
I like it. It's honestly.
I admit it. I was the black sheep in terms of like, I was the naughty kid that always got in trouble, put my parents through things, ran away from home, got in trouble for things. But when I left, I knew what I was getting into. That's the thing. I knew that I was going to go down that route because I was craving it. I never experienced anything outside of my church and my world. And because we're sheltered in a way growing up.
Mormons, you say, right?
Yeah, Mormon.
Yeah, Mormon.
So Mormons, you're not allowed to drink anything.
Yeah.
So when I saw the opportunity to go, I didn't look at it as I can be a better footy player. I looked at it as I get to get out of home and I get to go out. I get to go meet people. And that ultimately led me down a path. Even though I ended up playing for another 15 years of professional rugby, that led me down a path that I never should have gone on. But in saying that, that same path that I went down and experienced all those things also made me who I am today. Because if I didn't go through certain things,
that's the point.
Yeah. If I didn't go through hardships of like, going out all night partying and then missing training and having my coach scream at me and having to deal with the shame of that and your players looking down at you, those are lessons. Not that I should have done. I should have been man enough not to do all those things. But when I look back, I go, man, this is how I can deal with people in life because I've been through certain things and I know what it takes to get out of them. So when I meet somebody, for example, if I meet somebody that comes to me and goes, I can't do this, I can't do that, life is hard, life is that, it's like, brother, no, it's not. That's not the case. Anybody can do anything they want to do. It starts here though. Most people actually lie to themselves and they don't take accountability for what they do. That's a massive issue that you see in most people now. They always need to look for somebody. Yeah, but but the only reason why I did that because that guy over there and my friend didn't ask me to go out, I never would have gone out and made those mistakes. But life is about lessons. I feel like for you, for example, you've been through so much in your life.
Well, look, it's happened. It's happened to me. But
and would you honestly say that's what made us to be the person we are? People who make mistakes and learn from it and not do it again are generally the people that people want to listen to, not the people who make mistake and continuously make the mistake and they've got a bit of money. People don't want to listen to that. They want to listen to somebody who's been through things, dealt with the pressure, dealt with the issues, with the shame, and got out on the other side and still have a smile on their face and still say.
And you do have. And see, but this is what I was looking forward to have you on a podcast. You know, when we see your social media, you know, I see the man with a smile on the face commenting, you know, does good things. It's you are there. But I think myself, there must be more. Even we introduced it with a common friend, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, let me Google it. And I was like, sometimes, you know, sitting there in front of my computer, I said, geez, this guy, he's been through a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing I learned in my life, when the people are ashamed of you, for whatever you do in your life,
Yeah.
they're ashamed of you. My parents they were always ashamed of me because I wasn't brilliant student. I never go to part. They want me to do it. You know what I mean? Even they were alcoholics. They were, you know, my mom, she was a kleptomaniac. You know, that means she was stealing from the people and then she'll blame me.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do this, you know, that bullshit, you know what I mean, in my life? It was my mom. I need to live with that one. But you and I, we both know that world, it doesn't consist only from the good moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this lady on a police academy when I was there. She will bring that photo album, her photo album, and she says, you see, this is a picture with me, my husband, kids smiling on a holiday, smiling on a wedding. Da-da-da-da. But life is between the pictures.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like, that was very profound. It's like, I got to be a good spy. But thank you, Alfie, for saying this. I take a note. Everybody knows to blame everybody, but nobody is prepared to take accountability for their actions.
Yeah.
And saying this today, you know, there's going to be a lot of Mormons there who's going to say, I know I've been there, that part, or maybe in their dreams. So thank you for that one, because...
You know, this is actually, sorry to cut you off. This is
No,
actually
I need to cut off. Feel free, yeah.
This is the first podcast I've actually admitting or saying it publicly, because I know this is going to bring shame to my family. But it's my truth. I did drink alcohol. I did take drugs. I did do all the things that other people shouldn't do as a Mormon. But this is, for me, eventually I knew I was going to have to share the experiences I've gone through, because in the past when I talk to people, do interviews, I never really say what I did because I didn't want to bring shame to my family. But it is what it is. In order for people to understand me as a person, I have to be honest and truthful to people and tell them exactly what I did. And you know what I mean? And I know
discovered the secret now. I'll share something with you. Well, world is full of coaches and gurus.
Yeah.
And when I'm listening to them, how their life is this and that, or how they live a great life now, I say straight away to myself, that's the biggest lie. Because one thing what I learned while I was in military and military security intelligence and diplomatic intelligence, or even my experience, I don't like to talk about war.
Yeah.
I've been there, I lived that, I don't want to talk about this. I wrote the books, not talk about war, but my fears, my doubt, my trials and tribulations. I don't want to talk about war. My son says to me, he went with me in Croatia. He said, Dad, all these people love you. I said, like, why, Mateo? He said, you help them, you save them.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about war. Same with you. You say something now which you know that people's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
So you're not a guru who is bullshitting here, all of us, with your successes. You say, I'm going to bring the shame on my community. Do you understand credibility behind this?
Yeah.
This is credibility. You say, my community is going to feel this. And for that one, I literally congratulate you for showing the people that is the courage. Yeah. That's the courage.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
No, bro, let me now ask you a second question. Being released from professional team can crush careers. You said you're going with Pat, Canberra, but then being introduced to the Trio Fantasticus, drugs, women, alcohol.
Yeah.
Which they crush everybody, not just them. Being there, done that. Trust me. Like, I was as well on that part, not as a professional sportsman, but in private life. 15 years you said like you played still. What happened? What's happened to Alfie Mafi that his dreams has been crushed? Need a break?
Nah, I don't know if when you say crush, I played 15. Not a lot of people get to play 15 years, almost 15 years of professional rugby. So I still got to live out my dreams. One thing that sorry.
No, that's okay. Just
turn this.
That's okay. That's
Turn
okay.
it off.
No, that's okay. 20.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So I got to play 15. I wouldn't say that my dreams were crushed. If we're talking just purely the rugby dream, I still had the chance to make it. I just chose to live that other life too long. I lived it for almost 15 years. And look, man, it's
Okay, let me rephrase this question. What was the darkest day after headlines faded about your career?
when I got sacked in 2013.
May I ask you why?
So
Can you elaborate that moment? What
Yeah,
happened?
so-
Because that's what I ask you a question. Try to be less invasive on your privacy, but okay,
no, I'll tell you.
people don't know what's
yeah.
happened.
So this pinky right here,
Yeah.
that's from a fight. So I'm not going to name the players because I'm sure that's going to bring them some trouble. But we went to a nightclub, me and two other boys, two of my mates. And on the way to the nightclub, we stopped to get a kebab. We went to the kebab, me and one of the boys. We went to the front, ordered some kebab. Our other mate, he was kind of behind us but not close to us. And there was a table full of boys there. And he gone over and then spat on their table. And then when he spat, we heard the scuffle. We turned around, so we ran over, like, brother. So we kind of broke it off. We grabbed our friend, we pushed him to the side, and we were apologizing to this group of boys. There was about 6 of them. We're like, sorry, look, our friends had too much to drink. We apologize, please. Anyway, it ended up escalating because, as one gets loud, the rest of them gets a bit, they get a bit of,
Energy, yeah.
energy. And they now
Everybody
they,
was like being a tough guy, yes.
yeah, because it was starting to calm down. Then one guy's like, nah, your friend. And then anyway, it escalated. So he went outside of the kebab place. And we, at this moment, me and my friend were still saying, please, we're sorry. Look, yes, he's drunk. Apologize. And then one of them threw a punch. And then the fight broke out. And how it broke this, when you hit one guy good, everybody runs. The fight now becomes, it's not a fight anymore because these guys actually know how to fight. So they all took off and I chased one down the road and he jumped into a taxi. So as he jumped into the back taxi, he's telling the taxi driver, go, go, go. The taxi driver's having none of it. It's like, no, you get out. So I was reaching in, I was punching it and I hit him. And his teeth, you can still see it. I still got the teeth mark here. Yeah. That ended up putting me in hospital, believe it or not. This little injury put me in hospital and then I had to get surgery. And then out of that surgery, I had to call my club. Now, at this moment, I was faced with 2 things. Do I lie or tell the truth? If I lie, I can possibly get out of it. If I tell the truth, I'm going to get in trouble. I ultimately decided to lie. First mistake, I decided to lie.
You're sorry I'm laughing, but like the way you explain it's like, whatever I do, I'm troubled.
But the reason why I lied, because I didn't want to dog the other 2 boys and say they were in the fight with me. So I decided when I called the coach, I was like, hey, look, I'm going for surgery and I'm going to be out for 3 days. He goes, all right, tell me when you get here and then we'll have a meeting. So I go back after surgery, I see the coach and he's like, what happened? I was like, look, I went to the nightclub with my cousins and we got into a fight and I was just trying to defend my cousin. I ended up punching somebody and he's like, you're lying to me. And then I was like, no, I'm telling you. He's like, you're lying to me because I already know what happened. Who were the boys in the team that was fighting with you? And I still lied. I said, nah, look, it was my cousin. And he's like, you're on a drinking ban. You're not allowed to drink any more alcohol. Fast forward 4 months. So after that, 4 months down the track, we're down here in Sydney at Coogee Bay Hotel. We decided to go out again. After a game, we lost the game, we went out, and I had a bit too much to drink. And when I came back to the hotel, I passed out in front of the elevator in the fetal position in my undies. And the players, I don't know how I got to the room. I don't know if you've ever had too much to drink and you wake up and you go, what happened? So I woke up the next morning in my bed, not knowing how I got to bed, and I opened my phone and I had about 100 and something messages. Please don't tell them you're with me. Please don't this, please don't that. I went to the coach's office. He said to me, he's actually a nice guy and he was on my side. He said, look, we had a deal. My hands are tied behind my back. I got to sack you. He's like, did you drink alcohol? I was like, yes, I did. He's like, I can't do nothing about it. And he still didn't hit me then. It hit me when I got back so after that game, we went to Canberra. I wasn't allowed to be part of the team. I just had to clean up and do a couple of things on the buses. And then it didn't hit me when we got back to Perth that my life I was done. I'm not a rugby player no more. And because I made those silly mistakes, I already had a contract with Japan to go to, and this was going to be my biggest contract. And I ended up losing that contract because what did I do? I told the truth. So I started with a lie. It got me nowhere, and I told the truth. And because the Japanese team called my manager and we had a meeting, they're like, look, we don't care what happened. We just want to be able to defend you when the news comes out of what happened. What happened? Why'd you get sacked? I was like, look, I did this and that, the whole story. And they're like, all right, beautiful. No worries. 2 days later, yeah, your contract is no longer valid here. You have no more contract. So I was out of contract. That was February to July. So from that period, my sister, her name is Bessie, she was nice enough to cover my mortgage that whole time. Actually, it's
Thank you, Bessie.
yeah, thank you, Bessie. When that happened, she just said, "Look, I know you're not going to make any money. I'll cover the mortgage for now," and she paid for the mortgage. And I was like, "Wow, that's." But that during that time, that was my hardest time because I went from.
How did you live with those headlines in the newspapers? Because, when I was doing some research about you, there was coming across, some things, from the best player, prospect player, on top to come to the, to down.
Yeah.
There's not many headlines anymore, but I said to myself, oh man, this guy, he's been through hell and back.
That year in 2013 when I got sacked was the first year I was ever mentioned in the Wallaby squad. Like commentators were saying, this guy needs an opportunity to be in the world. He has to be in the squad. That was the first time that I had a bit of, wow, I'm going to make it. And I believed that I was going to make it. And then when I made that silly, stupid mistake, gone. Everything gone. And it's true what they say. When you go from winning all the time or doing good in life, everybody's in your corner. And then you're no longer that person.
That's what I want to ask you. Tell me, Alfie, as a friend to friend, everybody who is listening right now, they must be in a corner, punched by life, but simultaneously, those who promise it's going to be there for you will turn back on you. Have you been betrayed, or you think you've been betrayed by the friends, family, players, or somebody else who told you they're always going to be your buddies, your friends, whatever they are, but the moments come to truth, they were not there for you? Did you experience that?
In rugby, no.
Professionally, maybe not, but privately?
In business, yes. I did have a business partner, and for a lot of people, because the amount of the money that was owed to me came out because my business partner made a fake account, and he came and commented as apparently a Samoan lady, and when he did that, I commented to him. I was like, I know it's you because only me, you, and the other business partner know the exact figures of, because he laid out the whole deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm a Samoan lady. It was $6,000.
Yeah.
Look, for a lot of people on the comments are saying $6,000, that's not a lot of money. We thought it was $100,000. I was like, it could have been $2. It could have been 10 cents. It's the principle that my own friend, the buddy that we say I love you to each other, the guy you spend having lunch with and talking on WhatsApp because he's in a different country, all that guy is the guy that ripped me. And it wasn't the amount that made me upset. It was the fact that you're my brother. Like, bro, we literally say we love each other. We dab up, That's, for me, the one that hurt the most. And to be honest, when that happened, I moved on from it very quickly because I've never been the one to sit around and dwell on situations because I don't have time for it. The only reason why I brought it back to light is because I made a video about Sonny Bill and Mark Hunt, how Mark Hunt's claiming that Sonny Bill dogged him, ripped him on a deal, and Sonny Bill said he didn't, they had an agreement. And then I remembered, hey, my own friend.
that happened to you.
Yeah. And funny enough, he went missing because the moment we agreed on the deal, he told me, brother, I will never do this to you. You're my brother. I'm not a dog. You know my character. And he said, I swear on his sister who passed away. Her name is Sharon. Rest in peace. I knew how much he loved her. And then when we're talking about the deal, he said, look, I swear on my sister's life, I will never do something like that to you. And ultimately, after 2 days of negotiation, I decided, all right, I'll transfer you the money because you're telling me you're going to do it and you've sworn your sister, who I know for a fact you love, you'll never lie on her name. What happened? I was at the airport. I said, look, brother, I've got to jump on this flight. I'll transfer you the money now.
Yeah.
Once it's in your account, because I'm buying your shares, You take that little small amount and you send it back to the company. It's like, all good, brother, I love you. I'll see you on the other side, bro. Never heard from him again. Never heard from him until I posted all these videos about him. Then he came back out of the hole, and now he's threatening me with lawyers and police. And I was like, bro, go for gold. Go tell your lawyers to come to me, because I have all our text messages saved of you promising you were going to do a certain thing and you did the opposite. So when you get your lawyers to come, make sure you're ready to defend your side. Where you say, I swear, I promise I will do this, I will do that, I will do. I've never seen the lawyer. I haven't even seen the cops either.
No, cops will not cover this. That's not the
Oh, no, he said cyberbullying or something. He's like, going for cyberbullying and...
It's just like, what a role your family played after you been made redundant from the team? How the family help you to go back on your feet? Your sister helps you. You told me. This is very, very noble.
Yeah.
The sister, she's going to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. But
it is.
How the family played the role?
They didn't know what happened till now. So this interview comes out, then they'll know exactly. Because at the time when I got sacked, because I was friends with the coach and he was a nice guy, he said, I won't put out the reason why you're being sacked. We'll just put it just for disciplinary reasons. So, and I was telling people that, because I was late too much. That's why I got sacked. So nobody know now to the full extent of what I got up to. This interview dropped, and it's good. I'm sure they knew. I'm sure they're not stupid. They knew I was up to no good when I was drinking and doing all that. They probably didn't ever want to bring it up because it brings shame to the family, because we're Mormon, we're Island Pacific Island, the family. But,
I ask you quite a rhetorical question. You may or may not answer. If you can go back in time, would you change anything with this? Women, drugs, alcohol, fighting, lying? You don't need to answer.
No, I'm going to answer it. But it sounds so generic because I'm going to say no. Because also I never would have met my wife. I never would have had my kids. Okay. If I ended up in Japan, I don't have my two little half-caste French boys with green eyes. These two little naughty kids that I love. I never would have. So no. Do I wish I did something differently? 100%. We all wish we would have done something. But to change my whole route in life because of one bad decision and everything else would change around it, I wouldn't get my wife now. I won't get my kids now. I wouldn't be in the business I'm in now. I won't be doing a Pacific Islander fight night. I would never have met you. Nah, no way. No way. Although I did a lot of bad things, I got to experience a lot of good things as well. From my bad decisions, I got to live a pretty good life. But one thing I never did was dwell on situations. I'm quick at if something happens, I got to move on.
So what did happen when you left the rugby world? What's happened then? What was the next?
So I went to Perth. I had to go back to get all my stuff.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had a missus that was supposed to move with me to Japan. She ended up dumping me during that process. And
I'm so sorry, bro. It's just like I don't know what to say now anymore.
No, it was my fault.
I promise you're gonna come to good questions, okay?
Nah, it's good. It's good. Nah, but I came home and literally it was. Although I was lost for those time, but I got to just be at home.
Yeah,
I got to reflect on life. I got an opportunity to go to France. I never look. A lot of people should probably adopt this mindset of don't dwell. Don't start feeling sorry for yourself, because that only leads one way. I'm not a big guy in depression because although I may have felt sad a couple of times, but I'm not going to do things that's going to make me not be the best self, be my best self. If I know for a fact I'm going to sit here and cry about the fact that I got sacked and I lost my biggest contract and I lost my missus, what is that going to do for me? Nothing. You know what I mean?
You know what? One thing I will agree with you, and I learned this in my life when I have one of the breakups, and the lovely lady I was seeing after that, she told me, "You man, you are such a idiot." I said, I don't understand what you mean. Her name was Galen.
Yeah.
I said, please explain to me. She says, every time when you be dumped or replaced by somebody, what are you guys doing? You go into that mode, crying, forgive me, all this, blah, blah, blah. He said, that's a fuel for the women. I said, like, okay. She says, while you crying, she has a good time.
Yeah.
I say, like, I was such a stupid man. I said, I don't know what she tried to say. She says, like, go out and you have the fun as well. It's hard, it's difficult. But if you decide to be crying a river continuously, well, that's what you're going to get from the life. And that's what you just saying right now. You lost a contract with Japan, the breakup and everything else. So how did you bounce back? What did you done?
I went to France.
Oh.
New life. I went to France.
Come on, seriously.
Bonjour, comment ça va? I arrived in France and life was back.
Okay, what did you do in France?
So I got the contract to go to France. I flew to France.
Okay, rugby.
Yeah, for rugby.
Yeah.
I got a new contract. So when I lost my Japanese one, I ended up getting a French one. And it was for a smaller team, half of the amount I was getting over in Japan. But I arrived in France. The first day I arrived in France, I went to a music festival, and that was the first time I met my wife in that music festival. I was standing there with a bunch of rugby boys that I just met, and I heard a voice. I heard somebody speaking English, and I just turned around, and
she was say, "You're gonna be my wife."
No, I said this. You speak English? She's like, yes. I was like, oh, hello, my name is Alfie. And then it was after that, But I just during the time when I wasn't playing, I was just at home. I was just at home, doing whatever, playing cards with my family, and then I moved to France, and life was back.
Did you? May I ask just, when you're in France, did you try to replicate life from Australia playing the rugby, drug, women, alcohol, partying, fighting?
Yeah, nothing changed. I went straight back into making stupid decisions.
Are you just sharing this openly right now?
Yeah.
That you didn't learn nothing and you come in France.
Yeah.
And you still continue being
this. It's not that I didn't learn nothing. It's I liked it. I liked the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I liked being around, and it felt good doing it. Yes, afterwards you feel stupid, shame. Why'd I do this? But I always used to do it because I liked the way it felt, and that's the honest truth. The honest truth is the reason why I used to drink and I did a bit of drugs was because I liked the way it felt. I hated it afterwards. But that goes back to me saying again, like I continuously made the same mistake because I liked that lifestyle. And it wasn't, and it's not like I liked the lifestyle and I was a bad person to people.
No.
It's just
you like it, that feeling,
Yeah. And you know what? Funny thing is, one year I was playing really bad, and we had in rugby after the season you have like a end of the year meeting. Okay. And I was sitting down with my coaches and the trainers, and they're like, "What happened to you this year?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know." And they're like, "What did you change?"
Sacrilege, you're lying again.
No,
you knew it.
No, I didn't, because
you didn't know. Okay.
No. But this is the crazy thing. They go, "What did you change?" And I was like, "Oh, I stopped going out. I stopped drinking." They're like, "You need to go back to that." They're like, we want that Alfie. That Alfie has the X factor.
Yeah.
That Alfie's dangerous. We want that Alfie. That's the crazier thing. But I didn't go back to it straight away, but I did end up going back. But I remember them saying to me, that Alfie drinking, he has the X factor. He's unpredictable. And that's how I used to play on the field. Unpredictability. Create something out of nothing.
You're going to laugh something what I'm going to share with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1992, I was being sent to the sniper school, 14 days. It was during the war, and I was being chosen one, and crazy enough, everything, blah, blah. And the first rule, the instructor says, do not change your habits. You're chosen because you're good in what you're doing so far. Do not change habits. I said, like, I don't understand. He's like, if you need to smoke while you're stalking you're hunting, somebody, he said, you have a smoke. If you need to have a chocolate, he said, but that just cover the traces. I said to myself, I was thinking the sniper guys like all the stealth, He says, no, you don't, because if you change your habits, it's not the guy we want.
Yeah.
Now it's funny what you say. Go back, drink.
Go back to doing that.
So I want to just take this experience into the today world, right now, today. When you open social media, let's just say I open my Instagram, I get all these blondies with big boobies. I don't know why. Maybe I was checking it past. I don't care. But I'm getting all this and all these fake coaches and gurus because that's one of the investigations. But there's a lot of young men. Look, my son is 22 years old. And sometimes he says to me, Dad, I'm confused literally what to believe or not to believe. It's like, look, my life was different. Your mother's life was different. Your life is different. But, you're healthy, normal human being, you need to make choices in your life. Some guy on the internet can't make choices for you. So for every man listening right now, right here, Alfie Mafi, women, drugs, alcohol, fame, glory, money. That makes you greater man, better man, or the most of the men chasing something which actually eventually is going to destroy them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, that's a great question. Yes.
I want to ask you because you live that life. So no bullshit artists over there, you know what I mean?
Can say,
These gurus, you need to have the 6 figures, 7 figures, this and that, Lamborghinis, Porsches, this and that. I said to myself, that's a crap life, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make a sense.
Yeah.
But now you live that life. Okay, so tell us, Alfie, for every man who chasing that feeling you had.
You need purpose in life. If you're not chasing something or wanting to be better in your life, then ultimately what you're chasing is a dead-end road. Because if you're chasing money, drugs, women, you'll get to the end of that road and you're like, wow, is this it? Is this the only thing you get out of it? Because there's nothing there. There's no substance. It's always the same thing. It's repetitive. You go to the club, you meet somebody, you go home, you wake up, you feel horrible about yourself. But having purpose in life, look, those gurus that say you need to make a lot of money to be happy, I agree to an extent. Yes, money does buy you experiences that you could never get if you didn't have any money. But it's the person who has the money that would make these experiences good. Meaning, if you're a millionaire and you're just a spoiled little rat and you've always had money, you're not a good person because you're going to rob people, you're going to do bad by people.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who's gone through trials and tribulations and seen things and experienced things, and then you get a bit of money, you're still the same person because you know how to deal with situations and you know what it's like to be burnt and you're not going to do it to other people. And now all you're doing with the money you make is give people experiences. Like you're helping other people around you now be better people because you've had to deal with it. Does that make sense? So, no, don't chase that life. You can go live it, but I'm telling you, it's just a dead-end road. And it didn't take me, I didn't stop straight away when I was getting into trouble with doing all these things. It took me years because it was hard to give up because the lifestyle was fun. But once you stop and you remove yourself from the situation and you look from the outside in, you're like, oh my goodness, I wasted all those years. Because one of my other regrets actually, with my mindset now, I wish I had this mindset at 18 or 19.
Why is that?
Because I could have built something when I was playing footy. I could have done something with my life. Instead, I waited till I was 30, 34 to meet my business partner who reminded me of myself from being a rugby player and the mindset that it comes with it and switching me into gear like, yeah, you're right, bro. I do have the mindset of I can achieve whatever I want to achieve.
Can I just draw the parallel now? You said a few minutes ago how the community you are living with, and particularly the Mormons, right? We'll find out this. I think you make them now proud again. Because, you see, you give the top of the sermon most of people don't live with. I've been in a lot of these churches meetings, you know what I mean? I try to explore these things, what they're talking about, and majority of them talking about what they want, but they try to, reflect on you. You need to chase the glory, the money, the God, the this and that, right? But you've been there, you've done that. What better example anybody can ask for than yourself? You're real. You know what I'm saying? You're real. Everybody loves to portray themselves. Even I was a full of shit, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, when my son was born, I was blaming everybody, anybody. I was, when I stayed in Australia after working in embassy and being the spook, suddenly I found myself having the child and the mortgage and lawnmower, and that was not my life. I lie myself all my life. Suddenly I need to become responsible, accountable for something, but yet I'm living in the past, blaming everybody currently for all my bad decisions. But I wish I met you before. And I'm glad that everybody who is listening right now, everybody who is watching right now, can draw the real example.
Yeah.
So thank you, Alfie. So like that's what makes you man in my eyes. Like you can go on the courses. I'm not sure did you saw this once, $5,000, 3 days you can cry, and like you're laughing as well. It's like, is this for real? You're gonna make me man? I'm like, come on, seriously.
Nah, being a man, it comes from inside.
Okay, tell us. Yeah.
This is, look, no disrespect to any counselor, and I'm sure they help a lot of people, or psychologists, or all these people. But I've always been in the mindset, if you want to change, it literally has to come from here.
Yeah.
Are there people out there can probably go to a guru or somebody and they tell them what to do and they can become better and do stuff that they're supposed to do? 100%. I'm not denying that. But for me personally, I think most of us as men, if we want change in our life or in our family's life or anywhere in business, it literally has to come within you.
Within you.
Because who else can motivate you but you? You know what I mean?
You know what? You're absolutely spot on.
Who can motivate you but you? You know exactly what you need to do if you want to win. When you wake up every day and you know you didn't get something because you didn't work hard enough, you know why you didn't get it. Because you didn't do the work that required you to do it to get what you wanted. And a lot of men would put this on the back burner. I don't know what it is now, but a lot of guys have these thoughts, but they'll quickly just eliminate and put it to the back burner. I got to go to work. I know if I grind and I do that every day, I know maybe something can come out of it, but I don't have time. They start making those excuses, and that's what ultimately buries your dreams. Not people around you. Yes, people around you can bury your dreams with you, but ultimately, if you are not willing to get up and fight for yourself, no, you can't win. You can't.
Can't win.
You can never win if you don't want to achieve for yourself.
Man, you know what? I'm hoping that somebody's going to see big ones. Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
PBD, Patrick B. Davis.
Yeah.
Who can hear this interview. I'm going to tag them.
I'm sure they can all rely.
I want you to be on their podcast. You know what I mean? It's a large audience. Because I'm grateful for you saying this. And this is what a life actually consists. When I go in the past, like my father passed away in 96. It's now 30 years. And he was an alpha male. And everything what he said was like, written in stone. And we need to listen to him. It was a patriarchal, family and everything else. But then I think myself, my father was big on awarding. And then 1991, in July 14th, 1991, when I wake up in the morning and I have the military police knocking on my door to report in army barracks, I said, where's my dad? My dad, my mom, my brother, they're gone. So I said to myself, all my life you give me all these big stories about being man, being this, being that, but you left me in a war, you know what I mean? Like, and he told me you're 18 years old. I said, what does that even mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? I've seen my boy, he's 22 years old. Yeah. I still see him as a midget, you know what I mean? Like, he hates that. I said, don't you dare to. I'm forgetting he's 22 years old. Yeah. So I truly believe that your words going to land in many souls and many hearts right now. They're going to ask themselves, if Alfie did it, I can do it as well. So Alfie, let's go back in France. Croissants.
Ooh.
Interesting. I was in snails. I was in France last year.
Yeah,
because I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Margarita, and she's
not the drink.
No.
She's just big funny.
She runs the big magazines there, and she was the one. She interviewed me for my Guinness World Record. Anyway, so I decided last year. I said I'm gonna go in Europe. I want to do something crazy for myself. I want a 21 days travel across the Europe and, being, middle life crisis, whatever it is, the vlog. So anyway, when I was in Paris, I'm going to revisit all the places. John Wick in the number 4. Did you saw John Wick in Paris?
I'm not a movie guy.
What's wrong with you? I just asked a couple of movies you've like, come on, man.
I know, bro. I'm not a movie guy.
That's okay. Like
I seen the clips where he's shooting people. Yeah,
like he's so in Paris, he's in what's it calling? Champs-Élysées, there's, what's it called, Eiffel Tower, what's it called, the church, Saint something anyway. It's like the places, and I said to Margarita, I want to go those places. She says to me, is that John Wick? I say, yes, I want to go. So let's go back in Paris for you.
Yes.
Okay, year is?
2013.
Okay, and then you heard that angelic voice of your wife, right?
Yes.
And you met her?
Yes.
And then you decided to do what?
We didn't get together straight away.
Yes, talk to me.
I was playing footy. She was only 19 at the time, or 18 when I met her.
Yeah.
She was traveling to Spain. I think she was going on a friend's trip with all her girls.
Yeah.
Because she grew up in that city. All her best friends and families there. I was just a random Australian guy. She met me one day, and then we exchanged numbers, and we stayed in touch. But I continued to play footy. I had the chance to leave that club, but I ultimately fell in love with the club and the people there, and I decided to sign a contract and stay there for 5 years.
Yeah.
So in that 5 years, oh man, some of my best times were in that little city. The population of that city is Brive-la-Gaillarde, CA Brive. The population of that place was only 50,000 people. But during games, it felt like there was over 100,000 people there. Because
that's how much I love it, yeah.
In Europe, man, one thing I realized, it doesn't matter if you go outside your city and you lose a game, but you don't lose at home.
That's Europe.
You do not lose at home. Doesn't matter how big the other team is. When they come to our house, you got to perform. I don't care if you lost the last 3 games outside, but you don't lose at your hometown. And that's something I used to love playing home games, because everybody was Superman when we played home. Everybody is the best player when we played. But it was a beautiful city. Got to travel around Europe. Got to experience a couple of new things. My brother at the time, when I first moved there, he just finished his career. He was playing in Italy. So I actually...
Rugby as well?
Yeah, he was a professional. He was my inspiration of why I ended up at the Waratahs. Because I had a choice of going to Penrith or West Tigers or Waratahs, and I chose the Waratahs because my brother was in the team.
Sorry, I don't know these teams or the differences.
Yeah,
they are,
don't worry.
But you're like about movies, like me about for rugby. But jokes on side, like so. You start dating your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now today, Mrs. When did you decide to move back from France?
After coronavirus. So when that whole everybody, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, or
of course,
is it going to censor you?
Of course, no, it's okay.
All right. So coronavirus hits. Oh, best time of my life, man.
Really?
Bro.
What drugs you taking now?
Because you know what it was?
What?
I was traveling all the time from rugby, and now I'm stuck at home, and all I was doing was eating Ben & Jerry's and getting fat. So I loved it. During coronavirus, I loved that time.
Because what? You don't train anymore?
Because I got to stay at home. I just had my son. He was only
okay. So you got your son overseas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
I got to stay at home. I didn't have to go to training.
Give me that, please, before you continue. Give me that feeling you got your son. What was that feeling?
Oh, nothing. I know. I was going to give you some inspirational answer, and it was actually disgusting. I had a cousin. He goes, beep. No, sorry. It's a beautiful thing to give birth.
Yeah.
But my cousin goes to me.
Yeah. Don't go inside.
No. Yeah.
You should listen. You should listen.
Whatever you do, if they tell you to look behind when the babies come out, don't look. It'll scar you for life.
You know what? Nobody's.
I wasn't one of those when I held my son, I cried. None of that. If anything, he came out crying, and it was annoying. It's like, brother, stop crying. We've got work to do.
I love how you insert yourself inject. It's like, stop crying, bro. We have a job to do.
We got something to do.
Yeah.
But because it was all in French, they're like screaming, yale, 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 and they're like, look.
Yeah.
And without thinking, I just went, oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. Bro,
everything was there.
You know what? I want every man understand this who's going to become the father. Do not go inside. Do not look.
You know what else I thought it was different?
What?
I thought there were more people were going to be in the room, and it was a much nicer experience.
It's not a NASA trip, you know what I mean? It's like
well, it was me, my wife, and two of the ladies, midwife, and another nurse, and it was 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And she's screaming. They're telling me to calm her down.
But
And
everything's your fault, eh?
yeah, and she's telling me to get the F off her. And I'm like, and then they're like, oh, it's coming out. Look.
Isn't that a common thing? Like, I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
And, okay, so what time? Sorry.
Did you have a different experience?
No, it's exactly same. Exactly.
Did you cry when you heard your baby? I wasn't.
No, look, Mateo's mom, she was like, I want to do everything naturally. I don't want painkillers, nothing. We end up, the gas, the injections, the epidural at the end, everything. So first pushing, it was like traumatic experience for 2 days. Like I couldn't
2
anymore.
days.
Bro, like.
Yeah.
Anyway, and doctor says, you see the head is there. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been in war, I saw things, but this is not there. I mean, you see in the future. And then end up with cesarean. Now, I was proud because, Mateo has a sister, she didn't come out, and he comes out. So I was like, I didn't cry, but I love he opened his eyes and he said, Daddy, I love you. I said, Mateo, I love you.
Is it Mateo?
Yeah, Mateo, yeah.
That was going to be our son's name, the younger one. But
see, there's a destiny, man. There's a reason why here.
It was supposed to be Mateo in French, but we ultimately went with Manoy.
Manoy?
Yeah. But it was Mateo was number 2 or number 1 on the list. I think it was Manoy.
What year was son you born?
2003? Oh man, don't do this to me.
2003. That's my son. Anyway, so your son is born?
He's 4. One is 4, one is 6.
Okay.
I look, I know for a lot of fathers out there, they probably had that experience. I just
there's no judgment. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. He doesn't know when the kids are born. That's okay, guys.
Yeah, I don't know when they're born. I never got the feeling of overwhelmed with emotion. Like even till now, I look at them. I'm like push-ups now.
But it's your boys. Are they your boys?
I love my boys. Yeah.
See, you can say whatever you want, but it's
you know what I make them do?
You don't see your eyes, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. It's like
I love my boys. my business partner now has a men's group, and he every Monday, he has 21. A lot of boys go there, and he always invites me to go there, and I always tell him, brother, I'd rather go see my boys than hang out with you. But it's true.
I love it.
Not that I don't want to hang out with them. It's just I'd rather see my children. Maybe, and I met a psychologist once, and she said this stems from when my parents left when I was 2. Not having my parents around till I was 9.
Yeah.
She's like, that traumatic experience that you went through as a 2-year-old probably has something to do with me wanting to be in my kid's life all the time. Because I don't know, I just
could be, but I don't see you being less a father just because you don't say, my boys are cried this and that. My father was, my mom, best expression was, and last words I ever heard from my mom was this: I wish the day you're born, you died. And I'm like, you're my mother. It's just like, because of you, my life was terrible. And I'm like, it's my fault. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, so you got the boys, COVID, Ben and Jerry, you're gaining weight.
I put on a lot of
push-ups, nothing.
Nah, I actually have a video. I have a video of me because you know what my wife did, and I know she did this on purpose.
She done this to you for purpose, okay?
On purpose.
Yeah.
I'm playing with my son. I'm changing his nappy on the table, and she took a photo of me from the back, and I had a bit of rolls going on, and she said, "Oh, cute." And I know in my head, I'm like, oh, she's telling me I'm fat.
Yes.
And she was right. So I took that photo.
I like it, yeah.
I screenshotted it, put it as my screensaver, and I circled all the fat on my body from the back.
Yeah.
And then I started training. I was like, no more Ben and Jerry's. I got to do some push-ups. And I actually took a video of the first day I decided to train. And I remember I only lasted maybe 4 minutes before I quit.
So when did you come back again? Sorry.
So when COVID,
you were over there, right?
When COVID stopped for the first time and they opened the borders.
Yeah.
I was against the whole injection and everything.
Yeah.
But I took it because that was the only way I thought I can come home. Because I didn't realize at that time, we didn't know if COVID was going to come back. We didn't know if they were going to lock the country down again. And when they opened it, they're like, all right.
Can you and I agree we are lucky we are living in Sydney? Imagine being in Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. I saw it online in France. It was
Bro,
bad.
You should see here. Like we were having ice cream. I was training, I was going to gym.
It was bad, wasn't it?
And I said because, they have such amazing leadership, and all the bullshit over there.
Even now they're still going for
it is. But, when you walk there, I was there last week for the clients. I was doing some presentations there, lecturing. and they're still in that mode, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you see the Victoria police, like, I was like, what is
I'm sure for a lot of them was traumatizing.
It is. So anyway, how about you? You're coming back in Australia?
No, I like that old because that was a weird time.
Why? Because you're home.
No, I'm saying the coronavirus was a weird time.
It is. It was, yeah.
Very, because about 3 months into COVID, 24 of our players got COVID.
Oh.
And we thought everybody's going to die.
Yeah.
Because at that time, all we saw in Japan or
Yeah,
China and that
is
people were
out,
dropping.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God, players are going to die. And nobody died. And from that day on, I was a rebel. From that day on, I annoyed my wife. Everywhere we went, I was the guy that was told to put their mask on 100 times. We went to get my 10-year visa. I don't think we got it because I got into an argument because I walked in with no mask.
Yeah.
Oh, with a mask, sorry. I seen 5 workers, no mask. The gentleman comes out. He says, put your mask on. I'm like,
bro, you're lucky you're not here.
oh, I know, they would have arrested me.
No, exactly. Like people are doping each other.
I know. Oh, it's bad.
You
So
know-
I was like, they don't have a mask on. He's like, don't worry about them. They're not part of us. You put your mask on. I was like, I'm not putting my mask on if they don't. And my wife was like, please just put your mask on. I'm like, no, I'm not
You
putting
should be here. You know why? Because the only who could travel across Australia was the rugby players.
Yeah.
They could play. It's like how they can. Okay, they must have the different multivitamins.
Well, but did you see on TV they had to put a mask to run onto the
Yeah,
field
yeah.
and then take the mask off. And
Look, it was a shamble. You know, look, in hindsight, I couldn't buy into this. But unfortunately, as you did, I was being apprehended a few times.
yeah.
Because they have the mask, and I was just police comes like didn't arrest you. They said, "Mate, we've been called because you have no mask." I said, "I'm in the park."
Oh yeah, by myself.
Yeah, and there was a guy sitting in the park was measuring time for 1 hour. If you were 1 hour, call the cops. So the cops will come and say like, "Can you just go another park?" Because they were so kind. Police officers here was a different breed. If I was in Melbourne, bro, I'll be fucking hanging.
Yeah.
I'll be arrested. So anyway, you come back in Australia. What year? Can you remember this?
Yes, 2023.
Okay, and what was then happened? You come from
2022, sorry.
22.
So I come back. I had convinced myself when I was coming back that I want to be a concreter or a factory worker because I was tired of rugby.
That's a little bit stretch from the rugby player to
I know,
concreter.
but because I was so in rugby my whole life, I was like, man, I just want to be normal. I don't want to talk about rugby.
Be normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to talk about rugby. I don't want anything to do with rugby. I just want to have normal conversation. I want to hang out with normal people and just talk normal. So I decided to get a job at a factory out in Blacktown, America Code. Shout out to those boys at America Code.
Okay.
So I went there, did the whole introduction thing. First day comes, I arrive Monday morning, 4 a.m. I'm sitting outside this factory. I start at 4:30. I can see the entrance, and everywhere else is dark, and there's a bright light on top of it, and it's just the door is the only light you see in this car park. And I'm watching people walk through, head down, shoulders down,
Yeah.
and I was like, man.
This is not for me.
I literally, these words I said, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
That's what I literally, the words
Yeah.
I said in my mind. But then I was like, you know what? This is what you wanted. Go in there and enjoy yourself. I lasted 2 weeks. 2 weeks I lasted. My back was broken. There was no conversation in there because because we're picking boxes.
Yeah.
Everybody's just working. You talk to an operator for 8 hours. And then on the second last day before I quit, I met a brother in there who was his cousin I used to play with for a long time named Sam Wax. He saw me and there's like, Alfie. He's like, bro, you played in stadiums full of people. Now you're working in a factory with me. I was like, yeah.
So he was a player as well, like you.
Yeah, but did you hear what he said? You used to play in stadiums full of people. Now you're working with me in a factory. He never played. I played with his cousin.
So yeah.
He's like,
how did you feel? How did you felt?
Shame. I felt ashamed. I was like, wow. I literally said, wow, you're right. And the next, and the next day, next day was the day I didn't turn back up. Because I felt deep shame in my body. Like, he's right. You played rugby and you're now, and not that I'm shaming these factory workers, but now you're working as a factory. There's more to life than just being a factory worker.
I admire you for what you said, because we are born with a purpose in our life.
100%.
You know, like I'm not, fortune teller or the psychic. I can see the future for nobody. But I truly believe that we all have some reason why we are born to do something. And I believe today's interview will be something truly amazing for the many people be inspired by you. Yeah. Because, we can be inspired by somebody, but you say something during the interview, nobody can motivate you except yourself.
100%.
But you give enough fuel that motivation can last. And for that one, admiring you, I remember when I was in Croatia and I was in military and my dad was still alive. He says to me, when are you going to quit military? So why would I quit military? All my life I've been educated to become the officer. Now finally I am. Why would I do anything else? He wanted me to go in factory because I could shame him if I don't succeed in military. I said like, well, how can I shame you? I already succeeded so much. But now he reminded me of those words, how people try to box us, but you will recognize in you that you are ashamed. And what was the next step? What did your next step?
I quit. I didn't turn back. I literally didn't tell him I wasn't coming back. I just stopped coming.
Okay.
And my sister that I was talking about before, who paid my mortgage for the time I was sacked, she applied because during this time I was training in my backyard. I was doing boxing and I was training my nephew and another friend of ours across the road. And she's like, why don't you do something, fitness related? Because your whole life you've been in fitness. And I said, nah, that's not me. I'm done with that life. I just want to live a normal life. And then she applied for a job for me at the gym.
Your sister?
Yeah, my sister applied and she sent it to me. She's like, I got your job interview at this gym. Aussie Fitness, this gym.
Yeah.
So
it's called the Aussie Fitness.
Aussie Fitness. So at this is my business partner now, but Tani Connolly is the one who started Aussie Fitness. Yeah. So I went to this job as just to work there as a PT. And in the process of working there, I ended up buying in to be a partner. And now we have all the other gyms. But it was my sister that...
Big shout to Aussie Fitness, guys.
Aussie Fitness,
if you go there, just quote Life to Butterfield, ask for Alfie.
Yes, you get a discount.
Discount, absolutely.
We got a gym in Melbourne, Upper Ferntree Gully. We got one in Arundel at the Gold Coast. And
Man, that's good to know because, when I go in Melbourne, I'm struggling, literally. I'm going I pay to the Virgin.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, oh God, it's like every time it's trying to find the gym, now we know Aussie Fitness. So your sister applied, you go into the business to become PT, but actually you end up buying
in to be part of the, as a director.
The director. So now I'm just trying to understand because I met you through the man who runs boxing.
Yeah.
And he says to me, Mario, you need to speak with this guy. I say, who is this guy? I say, Alfie Mafi. I say, I never heard of him. He said, really? He's a rugby player? So, sorry, Mark. I'm not into rugby. And he says to me, he runs the tournaments. I want to just do a small recap.
Yeah.
Your parents left you to live with your grandparents in Tonga. When they have enough money, you move in Australia.
Yeah.
First experience, McDonald's, Big Mac.
Yeah.
Then you move into the rough school, but best school. I forgot the name again.
Granville Boys. Yeah. Shout out to Granville Boys.
When you say Granville Boys, it sounds like it.
Nah, Granville Boys, Don and Gehe. Big shout out to you boys.
Big shout to Granville Boys. You met, the rugby. You start become a professional player, but then you expose yourself to the trio fantasticus, I will call these drugs, alcohol, women. But you notice that, the things are not right. You move with friends, you meet your missus, you coming back, and then factory, shame. Then you become director in Aussie Fitness.
Yeah.
Where we fitting now the boxing? Because this is like, like it's a contact, rugby is a contact sport, but you're bashing people. What happened to you? Like, Like, did you say like one day to yourself in mirror, Alfie, you need to start punching people in the face or something?
I've always enjoyed boxing.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to do a fight.
Okay.
And then I met Mark.
Okay. Big shout to Mark Hardman.
Yeah, Mark Hardman. He's the man. Yeah. So he's a straight shooter too. So I met him we ended up doing a fight night together where I fought, and I told you about it offline.
Yeah.
And how we came to this fight night that we're doing in October 4th, literally I did my fight night And then when I stepped away from it, I was looking, like I saw an opportunity. And if one thing I'm not shy, I know I'm not good at many things, but I'll never be shy to ask for help. I'm a quick learner and I'll learn anything from anybody. All I need is an opportunity. I'm not asking for a handout. I'm not asking for you to do everything and you give me what you have. I'm asking, please teach me. I'll do the hard work. This is where you got me to start posting on social media because of this boxing thing. I was like, if I want to do this boxing promoting thing, I got to be on social media.
Yes, you're the face.
I got to make videos and put myself out there. So I asked for an opportunity, and he said yes. He's like, "What do you have for me?" We have a Pacific Islander fight night, the first ever Pacific Islander fight night in Australia, first ever. That blew my mind. I thought surely somebody else has ever done it. So we're doing that October 4th for our brothers and sisters to come out there and compete. It's for everybody and anybody except professionals, because we want to give the people who are never going to be professionals but want to feel the experience of being a fighter for one night. So the people on my Instagram and the people I'm trying to talk to all the time, because I always make videos and I say, this is not for the 99%, this is for the 1%, for those brothers and sisters out there who believe they're warriors. October 4th is your night to be a warrior for one day. One day you get to be great in front of your family and friends. So that's what I'm pushing, and I'm trying to just get because Islanders, we're known to be just humble people.
Yeah.
We're just humble. I'm encouraging them to step out of their comfort zone, have a crack, do something that you'll never do again. And it's going to be the hardest but best thing you'll ever do in your life, is putting yourself out there to get in front of everybody. And you would know this. It's a lot of pressure to get in front of all your family and friends and fight. Win, lose or draw, in my eyes, you're already a winner. Because 99% of people will never have the guts to step in that ring. Never. The people, the doubters, they can stand there all day and say, oh, you should have done that. Oh, you should have done that. All right, brother, here, put the gloves on. You get in there. I'm too busy. I got too many commitments. Because it's easy to talk from the outside, isn't it? It's easy to criticize people who are trying in their life. The hardest thing to do is ignore all that and just, you know what? It's time for me to have a crack. Win, lose or draw, I'm already a winner because I'm putting myself out there for people to see. See your flaws, your wins, your hard times, your good times. This is what October 4th represents for me, and I want people to see. Have an opportunity to be great. October 4th, Pacific Islander Fight Night. For a lot of them, they get to be part of history, and I hope they take it up. And a lot of people have taken it up. But it's a fantastic thing, and thank you to Mark Hardman, because without Mark Hardman, none of this would be possible, because I don't have the licensing and the insurance. And he's putting his neck out there for me to run this Pacific Islander Fight Night for my people. Because everything he has is up for it's up on the air, because if anything happens, he'll lose his license. He'll lose, insurance, and all that will come into play. But yeah, brother, Pacific Fight Night, October 4th. First ever Pacific Islander Fight Night. Hey, I'm waiting on you. Drop me a DM. Let's get you that fight. Be great for one day. One day you get to be great in front of your family. Represent your country. Let's go.
Look, I see a lot of people with the desire, with the passion, but it's all for the show off. But this is a true passion.
I feel it. I'm pumped up right now. I want to get up and I'm pumped up right now.
Boxing is very demanding sport.
Yes.
And you said something very interesting. A lot of people, I think that's a unique opportunity to test their bravery and courage and put them out where the money is.
100%.
Look, I have 4 fights now in the last 4 years. Sorry, I'm lying. There was not during the COVID. But last year I lost 1, and prior to this lost 3 fights. I'm not ashamed. I tried. I wanted that belt, I wanted the belt. I was like, everybody look at me. But the thing is, what boxing gave me, it gave me the purpose.
100%.
And, I can see this in you. Yeah. So, tell us more, what is people missing when they talk about boxing? I can do it, because I know from my experience, everybody knows what I should do in the ring. But when you say, come on, step with me, do the sparring, nobody doesn't want.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Give us your experience when you walk first time in the ring.
Oh, man, it was nerve-wracking. I was scared. I was nervous. The fear of losing in front of my wife, in front of my friends. All these people paid $70 to come watch me play, watch me fight. A lot of emotion. And that's the beautiful thing about the fight game. you get to experience all these emotions you'll never get anywhere else in life.
Yes.
The fear, the doubt, the what if, all that emotion, you get to feel it for one night, and it's what you do with it that you can take away lessons from. And like I said, win, lose or draw, you would walk away going, wow, I have bigger respect for the professionals, especially the pros who do it now.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy being a fighter. It's not easy.
Tell us more. Look, I want to ask you because you played a team sport.
Yeah.
Right? Rugby is a team sport.
Yeah.
Even in a soccer, you can hide yourself in a team if you...
Same as rugby.
Boxing?
There is no hiding. It's you and that guy in the ring and everybody watching. And it's funny you say that because Mark said to me, oh, you'd be fine with the pressure because you played rugby. And I was like...
It's easy for Mark to say like, yeah.
I think he was just trying to pump me up.
Yeah.
And then, but I remember 2 weeks before I had my fight, I remember the pressure I was feeling. I was like, man, I've literally told everybody to come watch me. And I had 8 weeks to train, but I ran into a lot of hiccups. I couldn't train for about 4 weeks of it because of my back. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I know with my mindset, if I just try, I'm going to win. But look, the whole walking in, because you know the pressure of the day.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's absolutely... Everybody's enjoyed the drink of watching you.
You don't want to talk to nobody. You're playing the fight in your head. You're losing energy just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm big on this because I need, especially men, because I'm a man. I can only relate to men. I can't relate to women. But as a man, you need to go through these trials because this is the only thing that's going to determine whether you have it or you don't have it. If you're ever unsure about what kind of man you are, step into the ring and you'll find out real quick. It's a man-to-man sport. And if you lose, it's your fault. If you win, it's your fault. Everything relies on you. Or sometimes, actually, I should take that back. Sometimes the judges can come into play and ruin fights. But I like boxing for the pure fact that you get to train hard for 8 weeks, learn a lot about yourself, and feel all the pressure that all the fighters feel. And you can kind of tap in and understand how the mindset of some of these fighters is. So,
look, as I say, you're nothing short than being true inspiration. You are.
I appreciate it.
No. And I was looking so much forward for this interview with you because particularly now knowing that, you know, this is the first podcast where you can share the things most of people never heard before from you. And I mean, but that's like what I like about you, Alfie. You still have this, you know, the humbleness in you, if I may say that way. I mean, simplicity. You don't talking like, you know, I was do this, you know, many people still try to live in the past, and I mean, and try to be that person from the past currently, but you say like, that was my past, this is me today, right? It takes a lot of courage. Running business, it's difficult. It's challenging, you know, as you know, your business partners and, you know, how to make your clients happy, communications, the list goes on. But secondly, I saw you posting a lot of social media. Who knows better social media than you? I always say to my clients when doing investigations, like, why would you go to somebody in Bali who doesn't understand your business to do all these shorts for you, which is it's crap, man. You know what I mean? It's a lie. And yet you are there out. You understand? You are out there to be judged.
Yeah.
And that's for that one, I say I commend you because it takes a special set of skills in life to be the person in public and say like, facing firing squad, I'll call this. You're facing firing squad every day. And now you're putting on a 4th October. So tell me more. 4th October, what time away?
Sorry, say that again.
4th October?
Yeah, 4th October.
What time, where?
So it's at Windsor Wolves Rugby Club.
Okay.
So the gates open at 5. We open the ceremony at 6.
Yeah.
We've got food trucks coming there. We've got the
Food
Big
trucks,
Aloha,
okay.
Mama Sela, and Cosmic Sweets, and a few others.
Okay.
It's a night of just enjoying yourselves and being a part of something. This is literally history.
That's an indoor, right? Or?
Outside. So on the rugby
it's
field.
October. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so right on the corner in front of the RSL. It's literally history in the making, and everybody that's coming there gets to be a part of the first ever Pacific Islander fight night. And I'm doing it.
Okay, so is allowed somebody like who is not Islander to fight? Or
no. So
Okay, now we come to this. Yeah, we forgot this one. We wanted strong.
It's Pacific Islander fight night, so we want it to be all Pacific Islander fight night. Okay? Look, Australia is technically a Pacific island. It's an island, but right now it's just a lot of the island's brothers and sisters, and everybody can come and watch and support.
If they want to enroll to fight, so that's amateur fighting night, right? Amateurs.
Yeah, amateur.
They have no experience.
Experience.
Can you offer them some training or
we got
some shakes, some supplements, or some cardio?
Well, we have Mark's gym and my gym. They can come and train if they want.
Yeah.
It's 8 weeks, 1 minute fight.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of them, they just want to not do the training and just turn up and fight.
He doesn't know that way.
Yeah, but if you really want to enjoy yourself, you got to train. You got to get out there and do a bit of sparring. Do some pad work and do some running. That way you're prepared, so you expect what to expect. You know what I mean? All right, now we're gonna get to the tough questions. You got the tough ones.
I have the one last question before we wind up. What is the message you want to share? Let me first start with this one, with the sports people. Everybody who wears the gloves or boots, rugby boots. What would one message be from you to them, to anybody across the globe, being in boxing or the way in the boots, rugby players, sports teams, whatever it is? What one message you will share with them? Is there anything else?
Muhammad Ali said this best. He was asked, what is the hardest thing about boxing? And he said it was staying out of the clubs. If I can share with the kids now, stay out of the clubs. Don't do drugs. Don't go down the route of alcohol, because it will only lead you to trouble. And I completely agree with that. If I had never gone down that route, I'd no doubt in my mind I could have been a great player. I could have played for the Wallabies. So if I can encourage you young fellas, live at home as long as you can. Don't go to clubs. Stay away from those bad, because that only create bad habits for yourself. And it's although it may seem fun, and for a lot of the time, yes, it is fun, but you're only going to learn things you don't want to learn and experience things that you don't want to go down, because it can lead you anyway. I was fortunate enough to go down a bad route and still ended up playing a long time. For a lot of other players, they go down this route and they never come back. And you see them 20 years, 10 years later, they're still doing the same thing. They're still in the club. They're still doing drugs and alcohol. So stay out of the clubs, kids.
I try to define this question much more in simpler terms, to be very simple. You faced a judgment. You've been ashamed. You've been in a position when people turn back to you and you need to give up of some type of your dreams, contract Japan, and what's happened to you 2013. Anybody who is facing difficulties in life is going to be judged or being shamed for their decisions. What message you will give them? What Alfie Mafi will tell them, guys, okay, you're going to be ashamed for what your decisions you did. What your message will be to them, how to live with the decisions they've done and they're not proud?
For me, it's not so much what to do after, is look at the people who judge you and say to yourself, would you want to live their life? The people judging you are never the people you want to be. So don't listen to these people, because a lot of the times they do say, when you're getting hated on, you're doing something right. Not all the time that's true, but for a lot of the time that's very true. The people judging you, all you got to do is look into their life and go, I'll never want to be in your life, brother. Yeah. Although I'm making mistakes over here and I'm not a perfect guy, I know I know me as a person, and I know me in the inside, and I'm a good guy. And I've got plans to do something with my life. And if being judged is part of it, oh man, bring it on. Bring it on, brother. Like,
see, that's what I like about you. Yeah. Like, you're still smiling. It's like, you are, you are true, the beacon of the hope. Honestly, I'm saying this to you. Like, this is the first time I see you. Like, this is the first time I even talk to you. And I, I think to myself, there's not enough of this guy. Now I had a more harder question. Yeah. What's the worst dieting people doing to lose the weight? What do you see now from that perspective, working in fitness industry, PTs? What do you see the worst thing we do to lose the weight? I'm asking for the friend.
I say this to people because the way I work is I teach lifestyle. And I say this to everybody who wants to go on a diet. Every diet is a good diet. It just depends on you. Okay? We all know what not to eat and what to eat. We all know fast food is not good for you. We all know, vegetables, not a lot of the time is good for you, but we know what to eat and what not to eat. So when people say to me, oh, is the keto diet the best diet? Oh, is the fasting the best diet? Oh, is being on a calorie deficit the best diet? I say to them, brother, the best diet is the one that's going to work for you. Which one can you do? Do one of them. Because a lot of the time when you sit there and you go, oh man, I've seen this guy's doing keto, look at his body, but that guy's doing fasting, but they confuse themselves with such simple decisions. Pick a diet, try. If that diet doesn't work for you, try another diet. But there's no specific diet that I personally, maybe there is, I don't know. But personally, I know not every diet works for everybody. Everybody's different. But find the one that works for you, whether that's fasting, calorie deficit, any of that. Just choose one. Choose one and don't go injecting yourself with this Ozempic and taking all these fat burner stuff because you haven't built the discipline enough. You haven't built the discipline enough for when you get off those injections. That you're
that's a tragedy. Like I see, it's a lot of people actually come back from those things, and as much as you glorifying, you celebrating the loss, I can see that things coming back so rapidly, vigorously. That's it's dangerous. What I mean? Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I know people who've been on the injections, they lost a lot of weight, but now they've put on a lot of weight too. Because what they fail to understand is, in order for you to keep that weight off, you need to build discipline enough for you to keep the weight off when you stop injecting yourself.
Yeah, which is
because they heavily rely on the injection to lose the weight. And they're like, wow, I'm losing 3 kilos a week. Yeah, you are. But once that stops, because your body will adapt and you'll have complications with the injections, you don't have the discipline to turn up to the gym every day and train, or 3 times a week and train. How are you going to keep the weight off then? Best way is weight training. Do a bit of cardio. I say this as well. Find a sport that you enjoy and do it. If you enjoy playing soccer, pick up a soccer team. Go play soccer. If you like boxing, do boxing. Not everybody's made to run. And not everybody wants to run. I don't like running. I ran for 15 years. I hate running. I love boxing only because of everything that gives me.
Yes.
The toughness in my mind, the accountability of being out there with somebody and you making a mistake, because you didn't work hard enough to block that punch.
Yes.
I like all that. I like all the lessons that it gives me. I like all the fear that it gives me. I like all the anxiety, everything that comes with boxing. That's why I box. But if you're somebody who wants to run, go run. If you want to play footy, go. But pick up a sport that you enjoy in order for you to keep that, keep that excitement for you so you turn up and play the touch rugby and do a bit of weights. But find balance, find a diet that works for you, indulge a little, have a little bit of fun with your family and friends. You don't want to die for the rest of your life. On the weekends, go to a restaurant and have some food.
I'm so glad you're here today.
Yeah, it's true. It's not all about just getting the 6-pack. I had a 6-pack and an 8-pack and a 12-pack, and I remember my life was miserable. I was dieting every day. I couldn't eat French fries. French fries in France because I was scared I was going to put the weight back on. I wasn't happy. Now I get to just enjoy my life. When winter comes, I put on a bit of weight. Winter's cold. I need a bit of fat to keep me nice and cool, nice and warm. And when summer comes around, I've got a little bit of diet and still eat my bad food and still go to my boxing. But my life is balanced to a point that I like my life. I'm not struggling on diet on this side. I'm not doing boxing because I have no energy because I'm dieting. I'm on a deficit. I'm barely getting my weights in because I have no energy. My life sucks. Everything sucks. Nah, balance. Find a diet and stick to it. Find a hobby. Play some sports and get down to October 4th. No, I'm joking.
October 4th. Alfie.
No, look, I appreciate it. I want to know a little bit more about you.
This is podcast about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll give you the, what's it called?
Private investigator.
Video. I'm going to give you the video. But let's go. Okay, we are coming into second hour. This is I can't believe it how
time flies, yeah.
Time flies, you know what I mean? Guys, I want to you contact the Alfie. I'm going to put his contact details into the description of this video. Be impressed, be inspired, because this man here today, he's been on a path many of us even going today. And one thing what we can learn from him, it's that there is not over till it's not over. And you can live your life as best possible you can, as long as you find a purpose. As my friend Mafi
100%.
says. And most importantly, one of the things I say I like talking to you today about this is how to be the man. And, you know, the drugs, you know, the women, the alcohol, the six-pack, 12-pack, everything what we are chasing because social media says we should chase.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you on behalf of every listener, viewers of their life, the battlefield, for being my guest today, Alfie. You know what I mean? There's so much thing I can say, but I want to leave for some other time. Let's just say after your first Islander fight night, 4th October,
Yeah.
we're going to do another one to rehash what it's happened.
Yeah.
What did you experience as a event organizer?
Yeah.
But guys, 4th October, I'm going to put your comment section below, a description, how you can contact Alfie Mafi, give him follow-up, support him on his journey. And I say, like, after all, he's an inspiration we all need. Beacon of hope, as I say, somebody who really, really, with a smile on the face, can say, I've been there, I've done that, I survived, and still thriving. Thank you, Alfie.
Thank you very much, brother.
Welcome.